going on here?
We're getting stuff in that.
We'll come down to the back lawn. We're having tea down there. You can breathe all you like out there.
Basil, there were other people.
The pony in the cart. I bet you drive us down to the village. The pony would always walk down outside the greengrocer's.
Basil, I'm really not interested in reminiscences.
Croquet on the lawn, admin. I taught you to swim in the tide.
My father taught me to swim.
Well, that isn't the way I remember it. Don't block out the good times we had, Holly.
Steve's called an emergency meeting on the hospital board.
I can't believe that. Okay, now, Amy, are you absolutely sure, first of all, that the man was from the district attorney's office, and secondly, that the exact words he used, Amy, were, they want to indict Luke and Robert?
I'm positive.
I heard it too, Leslie. Oh, but that's wrong. That's wrong. They haven't done anything. They haven't committed a crime.
What's this about an indictment?
I cannot believe anybody would think that Robert is guilty of a crime.
Or Luke, it's ridiculous. Of course it is.
Mark,
Is what we heard true? Are they going to indict Luke?
And Robert?
Well, the board's meeting about it, yes.
Would it be okay if we talk for just a minute, Mark?
Yeah, sure.
Mark, you gotta know how wrong this is. Robert and Luke haven't committed a crime.
Well, Rose, I didn't prepare the indictment yet.
No, I know that, but you were on the hospital board, and in the meeting, maybe you could make the others aware of the fact that there's been a mistake, obviously.
Well, I'll be as fair as I can. I think you know that.
Well, sure.
It's going to be awfully hard to concentrate.
Why?
Well, it's the strangest thing. One particular fact keeps popping up in my mind constantly.
Oh, really? What fact is that?
What you and I are planning. Our trip to Vermont.
Hi, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Leslie. I was just on my way to the board meeting. Are you coming?
Oh, you bet I am. Indicting Luke. What could be more ridiculous?
And Robert?
You agree, don't you? I mean, they shouldn't be named in the indictment, right?
You will say so in the meeting, won't you?
Well, you know, Jackie, Steve always makes sure that all sides of the question are heard, and I always like to listen to all sides before I vote. Well, Leslie, I think we should get to the board meeting, okay?
See, the thing is...
Oh, you coming, Mark?
Yes?
Damn it!
Look, Mark promised that he would be fair, and that's what we can ask right now.
Well, the thing is that we feel so helpless. We've got to make them understand. Luke and Robert are fighting, yeah, but they're fighting the Durbins, not General Hospital.
Oh, thank you. Take one more song. It's quite good, quite good.
Holly? What are you up to?
Don't sneak up on me like that, Basil. You frighten me.
You've been acting very peculiar today.
What's the matter? You're frightened I'm going to run away?
Well, it won't be the first time, will it?
And just where would I go if I managed to get away from this fortress you call home?
My dear people, welcome back. It's been a long time. Welcome. Nanny.
Holly, darling. Oh, why, you've turned into a raving beauty.
Long time since you've seen me.
Yeah, you know what's
Well, I came to the bazaar. Luke, you know, we always used to use this day to visit your mother's grave, and I thought we could do it together.
Holly's been complaining of a cold, Miss McTavish. I don't think she'll want to go anywhere.
Nonsense, it's tradition. Besides, it's a beautiful day.
Well, actually, I really don't think I should.
Well, you wouldn't have to stay very long, Holly. And besides, everyone has been looking forward to seeing you. You could come for just a little while.
It is, as Nanny says, tradition.
You know, I really think I'm coming down with something.
Well, you look perfectly fine to me, young lady, and there's no trace of a fever. Now, you give us a hug. You look well there. I think all she needs, Mr. Percy, is a bit of fresh air and some mothering. Now, shall we look at this view? I haven't seen it for years, my darling. Oh, breathe it in while you get a chance to.
No idea you come back, you know.
Luke? You know Luke? How did you know how to... Nanny, you have to tell me everything.
He found me to the tea. Would you believe it? You must have given him my special blend.
I told him about everything. Everything about you. But just, what did you think of him?
Oh, he is rare and smart and good. Everything I ever wished for you, darling. A man you could make your life with.
He means everything to me. I love him so much. It'll never be. I'll never be able to get away from here.
Well, I don't think the word never's even in Luke's vocabulary. He will find a way to get you out of here, and I'm going to help.
No, you mustn't do that. If Basil finds out, he'll do something terrible to you.
Well, go on. Mr. Percy wouldn't even condone that. That isn't the way the family does things.
Don't talk to me about the family. Lucas helped me see them for what they really are. Thieves and crooks.
I know. I've known it way down in the depths of me, but I pretended it wasn't so. For the sake of your mother and for you, Papa. Oh, you're a child of my heart, Holly. And I have prayed that you would be able to find a way out, away from the family, and find a strong, honest man. Well, he's come for you, lass, and I am determined that nothing will keep you apart.
Holly? The vicar is leaving.
You sure? You sure you won't change your mind?
Well, actually, I am feeling a little bit better. And it would be nice to visit my mother's grave.
Nonsense. Rest is what you need.
We won't take no for an answer, will we, Vicar? As a matter of fact, we can all ride over together in the vicar's car.
Oh, yes, of course. We'll catch up on old times on the way.
Well, at least that is settled. I'll get the cape my guest to because it's...
Will Luke really be here, are you sure?
I'll stake my life on it. He loves you, and he's come for you.
I want to be with him so much. It just seems impossible.
Luke will find a way. He's resourceful and brave.
How can I possibly go with him? I don't know how I can leave Father now. He's much worse. And I'm terrified that Basil is going to kill Luke. Luke is a danger to the family.
Oh, well, he might be. Isn't it true that you and Basil and your father cheated the people of Port Charles out of $2 million?
Yes, but Nanny, I know it was wrong. I understand that now. I was about to give myself up when Oliver and Basil kidnapped me away.
Still, you signed that check.
Yes, because Oliver was holding a gun to my father's head. I was afraid he was going to shoot him if I hadn't have signed the check.
Well, I'll tell that to Luke. I'm sure he'll understand. We'll try to set things right. Will you stay here, Puppet, until I give you the signal?
Is Nanny. This is crazy. Just keep raking, man. Come on, just give her some time. Just keep busy.
All right, but I draw the line at digging.
Luke. She here? Yes, she's here. Now, you stay here, out of sight, and I'll send her to you. It wasn't her fault about the check. Oliver threatened to kill her father.
Yeah, well, I figured it was something like that.
Oh, she loves you, Luke, completely. Now, you are to save her and take care of her.
Yeah, all right, I will.
I'll send her to you.
All right. See, I told you, man, I had a real strong feeling that she was forced into it.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy for you, but tell me, does this famous intuition say how we get out of here with the girl, the money, and our pelts intact?
Look, just give me 5 minutes alone with her, and then we'll deal with that, all right?
Okay.
English.
Basil's here looking for you. Go.
Holly, what were you doing in that part of the cemetery?
I was looking at the graves and thinking about the people who lie beneath them.
Really? Father was worried about you. He sent me with the car to take you home.
I'm not ready to go yet.
Now, Holly. Right now.
Nanny, won't you come back to the house and stay the night? Then we'll have the whole evening to catch up on old times.
I don't think so, Puppet. I didn't bring a change of clothes.
Please.
You can make do for one night. William can take you home tomorrow to pick up your clothes.
Thank you, Basil, but I really like a change of fresh linen. I'll be here to see you tomorrow.
It seems a bit silly to go all that way on the bus only to return tomorrow.
I have my own way of doing things, Basil. You know that.
Promise you'll come tomorrow.
I'll be there as sure as the sun rises.
I never did like that woman.
I'm not surprised, Basil. You've never really liked anyone but yourself. You can drive me home now.
I'd be delighted.
While some of the members of this board aren't here yet, I see that we have a quorum, so I suggest we get... Yes, Edward.
I just wanted to say that Alan should be along shortly.
Thank you. Now, for those of you who haven't met Mr. Kirk here, let me explain that he's an assistant district attorney, and I've asked him to answer any questions we might have. Do I hear an objection?
Well, Steve, we're sure that Mr. Kurt's presence will be a great help, and I, for one, want to look at this proposed indictment very carefully.
Yes, we all do.
Then I suggest we go right to the matter that some of you have questioned. I gather we're in agreement that the hospital should support an indictment of the Durbin family who call themselves Corso.
Absolutely.
Then our disagreement is whether or not Luke Spencer and Robert Scorpio should also be named to the petition for indictment. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
Well, I'd like to say a little something on that subject, if I may. I believe the hospital should support the district attorney's office without reservation. Mr. Kirk has asked the hospital to be part of a plea for an indictment in the manner in which he has prepared it. And I believe we should give him our full cooperation.
To the fullest extent. I agree, Steve.
In other words, you both think that Robert and Luke should be indicted along with the Durbins?
Well, there doesn't seem to be any doubt that they were involved with the Corsos. Now, to make matters worse, they've disappeared.
Gail, I've tried to make it very clear that it's my feeling that we must support our local authorities in whatever cause they decide to take.
Steve, I'm sure that we all agree with that in principle. And I certainly understand the hospital's position. But...
The hospital was a major victim in the fraud.
Leah, I know that. But we are talking about Luke and Robert here. We are talking about friends. Now, I've talked to the man. I believe that he was only used. I absolutely believe that he is innocent.
I do, too.
Mr. Kirk, would you care to respond to that?
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, I would. I hope I need hardly say that my office doesn't seek an indictment without careful study in advance, including a thorough examination of all the evidence. We're asking that Luke Spencer and Robert Scorpio also be indicted because solid evidence has eliminated reasonable doubt. We believe they are guilty.
What could they possibly be doing in there?
They're weighing their decision, honey. Steve's not going to allow them to railroad anything, so it's going to take some time.
So what do we do, just stand here and wait?
I'm afraid that's about the extent of our choices, yeah.
At this point, I think the board is ready to take a vote. Will someone make a motion?
Yes, gladly. I move that this board approve a plea for indictment as written.
And I'll second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Just a minute.
There's a motion before the board.
I know that, Edward. And the bylaws permit discussion of it. Do you people realize what we're doing?
Well, of course. We're voting to let the authorities bring a bunch of thieves to justice.
You're wrong. Luke and Robert are named in that indictment. You heard Mr. Kirk. They're being charged as criminals along with all the others. And by God, that's wrong.
All right, take it easy, Dan.
I can't take it easy. I cannot sit here and let this hospital declare Robert and Luke crooks. Luke is innocent. He had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to me. And so help me, Hannah. He and Robert had absolutely nothing to do with stealing our money. It was Luke himself who was to investigate the oil deal. I can't sit here. Do you realize that you're talking about the same Luke Spencer who only...
Dan.
Steve, get a gurney. Stand. I want a gurney in the boardroom. Stand. Under the circumstances, I will adjourn this meeting until tomorrow.
Damn it, Robert, I had her in my arms, and then she's ripped away.
As I recall, it was Nanny that did the ripping.
I just shouldn't have let her go.
Hey, come on, what were you going to do? I mean, both just conveniently disappear, sidestep into a cloud?
I don't know, I would have managed.
Luke, you'd never have gotten away with it. Basil would have seen the both of you. He'd have raised an alarm. You and her would have been nabbed, and we would never get out on that money.
I don't know. I don't know, man. All I know is that I had her. I don't have her anymore.
Hey, I understand. Really, I do. But we came out of it ahead.
How do you figure that?
All right? Think about it. You saw Holly. Holly saw you. Now, Nanny says that she was forced into signing that check. She loves you. Hey, be satisfied with that.
Nope.
Then be satisfied until you get the money.
I am not going to be satisfied until I have Holly.
It'll happen.
When? After her family has done to her whatever they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do with her, Robert?
My imagination doesn't stretch that far, but look, let's assume that her father can protect her.
Well, maybe he can. If he can, great. But what if he can't? And what about Nanny? Why isn't she letting us know what the next step of this plan is?
Look, I don't know. Guessing games are not my strong point at this time of the day.
Is Holly all right?
Basil put her in the family car and took her home.
And she is all right.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Now, I must not linger here because I have to tell you about my next place.
Great. We're listening.
Well, tomorrow I am going to see Holly. Now, I must find a way to get her back into the cutting garden. Do you know where that is?
Cutting, that's behind the servants' quarters.
That's right. Now, I'll find a way for Holly to get there. You sure you can find it?
Oh, yeah, I know where it is. Now, are you sure she's going to be all right until then?
Oh, they won't hurt her, trust me. Oh, I'm going to see that the two of you get together tomorrow. Holly knows you're coming.
You managed to tell her that?
Oh, I signaled to her, and I know she understood.
Yeah, well, what about Basil? He's no dummy. Did he pick up on anything?
Oh, not completely. Of course, he was suspicious, but He's always been suspicious since he's been 8 years old. He's never stopped.
Would he do anything to harm her?
Oh, I'll see that he doesn't.
Darling, he's a dangerous man.
I have dealt with Basil for a long, long time, and if there's the slightest hint that he's on to our plan, I will know it, and I will send him entirely in the wrong direction. Now, you must trust me.
Yeah, we do. We trust you.
Trust me.
We have to. You're the only hope we got. Now explain yourself.
There's nothing to explain.
I think there is. Why did you want Nanny here? Were you planning to use her?
I love Nanny. I wouldn't use her.
Oh, come on, Holly. Were you going to confide in her? Tell her the whole thing?
No.
Ask her to try and get her to meet your boyfriend, is that it?
No.
Ask her to take a message to him? Is that what you were planning? Tell me.
If you'll stop shouting at me, I will. In the first place, you must think I'm a fool.
I'd never underestimate you.
Well, you must, otherwise you'd stop asking me these ridiculous questions.
They're not ridiculous questions, Holly.
Just think. How could I lead Luke to the money? I don't even know where it is. And I wouldn't ask him to help me escape.
I've only your word for that.
Don't you have any common sense, Basil? Don't you see where it would end? With my father in prison. I wouldn't do anything to lead to that. And my father wouldn't survive prison. You know that as well as I do.
Spencer is here in Victoria. What do you propose to do about him?
What do you suggest I do? I can't help that he's in Victoria. It's a free country. Well, for everyone except for me, that is. Anyway, he probably thinks we're still in the townhouse.
That would be ideal.
Sooner or later, he'll see the futility and he'll leave. There's nothing I can do about Luke. I know that now.
I find this all very curious.
What?
This sudden change of attitude on your part. I don't understand it. Why are you suddenly giving in?
I'm a realist, Basil.
In what way?
Where you're concerned. If this is any satisfaction to you, I've finally realized that there's no point fighting with you. You always win and you always get what you want.
Yes, you're right. I always get what I want. Sooner or later.
Well, you can leave me alone.
All right. For now. You're a bright girl, Holly. And sensible. And I'm not surprised. I've always admired you. In many ways.
Beginning this week, climb aboard the happiest ship on the ocean for all new cruises with your favorite stars.
I'd enjoy that.
On the Love Boat. And later, stay tuned for more Love in Your Afternoon with the romance of Ryan's Hope, the drama of All My Children, the power and passion of One Life to Live, the adventure of General Hospital, and the intrigue of The Edge of Night. It's romance and laughter on the high seas in the morning and love in the afternoon weekdays.